Welcome back, guys. Today we may just have found a diamond in the rough, and I don't mean just a diamond in the rough. I mean a seriously cool diamond in the rough. So I'm scrolling on the internet as I usually am at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I come across an image of a lens, a little bitty lens. I thought, what is that? So I'm curious. I'm looking at all this stuff. It looked just like a micro four thirds lens, and those are cool because they fit on all micro four thirds cameras. So I got to looking. I'm like, okay, wow, this is not just micro four thirds. They also have it for L mount and a lot of others. But this caught my eye. By now I'm hooked. Okay, I'm reading about it. They're called SG Image, and this is the box that it come in. And I did contact them. Once I saw it and read about it, I contacted them. I said, look, guys, I've been in this for 42 years. Never one time have I heard of you. I apologize. Maybe I just missed it. Maybe some of you guys have never heard of them. They're called SG-Image. That's what it's called. So I wrote them and said, hey, I'm Daniel, YouTube channel. I'd love to show one of your lenses off. And they said, well, be glad to send you one. So SG Image did send me this lens for free, but all the cool stuff I'm going to tell you is coming from me, not from them. You guys that know me know I'm going to be honest. If it was a great lens, I'm going to tell you it's a great lens. And if it sucks, I'll tell you if it sucks. If you don't believe that, you can go back to a video I did about a year or two ago. The worst piece of junk I've ever seen. But anyway, let's move on with this diamond in the rough. 35 millimeter F2.2. Let's take it out. And it comes in a nice case. I've already taken it out, of course, and shot some pictures. Much nicer case than what you would normally expect. And I've already taken some of the other stuff out. But this is the lens, what it looks like. It comes with a metal front cap, which is very cool, because you slide that out to a very cool lens shade. If you see that lens shade, all that looks very cool. Now the back of it, you can hear that metal. You hear that? And then the plastic cap is in the back, metal mount, all looking good. And now you're thinking, okay, I know the catch on this lens. It's a manual focus. No, it is not. It is an automatic focus. Full frame, 35 millimeter 2.2 autofocus lens for a Lumix L mount that weighs practically nothing. Here is the equivalent of a 35 to 70 micro four thirds, which gives you an idea. This is micro four thirds, 24 to 70 equivalent. This is a 40 millimeter full frame. So you guys see why my attention is grabbed here. I mean, this is a little bitty. I thought there's got to be a catch to it. Maybe, like I was thinking, like I told you guys, must be manual focus, but it wasn't. Full frame, autofocus. I just didn't believe this. So they sent it to me, and I got it the other day, and of course I had to get out and start playing with it immediately. It's been raining for days, and the next week it's supposed to keep on raining. But I told my wife, said, we have got to get some pictures with this lens because I'm just loving what I'm seeing from it so far. So she was a real trooper. We'd have to run outside and shoot, and then run back in when it started raining again, then run back out the backside, and then come back in when it stopped raining again. So it was a full on and off for a while. But once we got to see the pictures, you just will not believe what this thing pulled off. It's absolutely, it's the one catch on this, guys. Are you ready for the price? Brand new in box. I swear I'm not lying. Brand new in box, 35 millimeter F2.2 metal cap, $160. Seriously, I am not kidding. You can't get anything for $160 the other day. I was looking at some pro-grade memory cards that I like so well. They're way beyond the $160, and that's for just a little memory card. So was so excited to get this video, and I knew when I was shooting, I'm like, oh, these are going to be good. So I'm going to run a slideshow at the end. I didn't get to shoot a whole lot, and I just picked out my favorite ones because the weather was so bad. So there's only going to be like 12 or 13 to check out. But they were all shot on this lens, and I used my Lumix S5 Mark II full frame to get the images. And my opinion on the images, outstanding, unbelievable. So anyway, I'll quit the hype for a minute, and I will complain about one thing. The only complaint I can find anywhere on this lens is when you take the cap off. First thing is, don't take the cap off. When you're putting this on the camera and you pull the rear cap off, this turns. This will be your focus. So now you have nothing because this lens, or the lens cap spins, and your focus spins if you want to go manual. So you got nothing to grab hold on to focus it. Takes a little practicing, but that's, you know, first world problem. That's the worst thing I could find with it. But other than that, first world issue. it's been a beast of a lens for $160. Just incredible. Yeah, if you guys have followed the channel very long, you know that at the end of every year I do my top 3 favorite products of the year. And we've had some so cool products come out this year. Godox and Newer have put out some killer stuff. And now I find SG Image. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is looking good to be in that top 3. I'm absolutely amazed. So anyway, we'll quit rambling for a minute. And you say, well, why would you want a 35 millimeter? Most people, if they go headshots, they want 85, and that's me. Most of my life, I'm doing headshots, I'm going 85. If I want a wide shot, I'll do a 28 or 35. Or if I want something kind of in the middle, you know, I'll throw on either a 35 or a 50 so I can go back and forth with my feet and use that. So why would you want a 35 to shoot a portrait? Well, you don't really want to shoot it for a headshot because if you get in too close, you'll distort the face. So you want to stay back a little bit. You want to show more of the environment. You want to be able to tell a story with the 35 millimeter lens. There'll be people that argue with me over that. They'll say, oh no, we like doing portraits with it. And that's fine. Everybody has a different like for it. It's one of those do everything lenses. Could be a 35, could be a 50. But in my book, this is more for environment, full length, kind of show the story of where she's at. And if it hadn't been raining, we'd had some cooler pictures. But I had her walking down the road, just looking and smelling some flowers and just being in the environment, you know. And if she didn't know me, well, it'd be kind of creepy because it'd be a guy taking her pictures. But she knew me. But you get the idea. You're able to follow your model in where she's at. You're telling a story of the scenery. You're not just showing off how pretty she is. You're not just showing off her legs or anything. This is a full scenery type lens of your subject. You can tell a whole story of what's going on. And look, you know, like I said, when you're shooting wide with a 35 millimeter, the background really matters because that is helping tell the story of your subject. If you've got a terrible background, it's not going to do well with this because you need a nice background to tell a nice story. If your model's walking down the road and it's got a dumpster behind her, probably not going to be your best shot. But you can find, like, had it not been raining, we were going to go to this place called Old Town Conyers. It's just got these old stores with neon lights. We were going to go over there and walk it at sunset and shoot some pictures, but the weather wasn't on our side and wasn't predicted to be on our side for a while. But what we did get, I think, were very good for what we were having to deal with. I had her walking in the backyard. I had her walking down the street. So that's what we were dealing with. We worked with what we had. So I think I've talked about that some. Something you have to do sometimes. You just have to work with what you got. The cool thing about having the 35 millimeter at F2.2 is you're not going to entirely blow the background away unless you get up very close. But it's not as bad as you think it will be. It won't be like shooting an F8 at a 50 millimeter at F8. I don't think it'll be that bad because this is a 2.2. And from what I saw, I liked our bokeh we got. I think it was really good. So again, I don't think that's a problem. And you know, the big thing is don't shoot wide at 2.2 just because you can. Shoot the aperture that gives you the look that you're going for. So just kind of remember that and it'll help you out. Now, when you start posing with a 35, it can be a little more different because you're getting such of surroundings. You want to tell your model it's not just you. Don't just put your hands on your waist because it's going to be you from head to, you know, it's going to be waist up to your face. And that's all it's going to be in the picture. She's got to know what to do with her legs. She's got to know what to do with her arms. It's like, just start walking. Let me start shooting. And, you know, if you see something on the side, flowers, whatever, stop and smell them. And I'll get the whole thing, you know, feet, street, everything. Because we're trying to tell a story with a 35 millimeter. We're not just shooting pictures of a pretty girl. And also, once I have her walking down the street, I'm like, don't just turn and look at me every turn. Look past me. You know, don't just turn and go, oh, look at the camera. Look past me. Like if you're right here and I'm right here, you look that way. Don't look directly at the camera. This is more of a surroundings type, if that makes sense for you guys. You're trying to catch everything and give that feeling of being there, of what she is surrounded by at the time. One of the biggest mistakes photographers are used with a 35 is they keep thinking, I need to get closer, but you don't need to get closer. That's not what the 35 is about. With a 35 millimeter, even though it's wide, you need to back up a lot. You need to see more of what's around her. Like I said, it's an environmental lens. You're not focusing on, okay, let me word this correctly. She is the focus of the picture, but you're not just focusing on her. There are other things in the picture that are going to help come together to tell a story. It's a lens storyteller. How's that? Hope that makes sense. You know, shooting a 35 at 2.2 is not about destroying the background, although you can to an extent. You'll see a few that I kind of destroyed the background on. It's about including the background and giving it a story. And that's the difference with a 35 and say an 85. Because if a model calls me and says, I want some headshots, I'm going 85 most of the time. Sometimes I'll do my 35 to 70. Sometimes we'll go up to 70 to 200. But most of the time, if she uses that keyword headshots, my 85 is in the bag, and it's usually the first thing that I'm going for. I don't really think about 35 in the realm of headshots, but I need to open my horizons more and shoot 35 millimeter to get the environment around you, because you really can tell some good stories. It's really, really fun to do. And sometimes we need to be relaxed with our photography and just have fun with it. We don't always need to be stressed. Oh God, did I get the exact exposure right? How's that background look? Is everything perfect? Just have some fun sometimes. Go out there. If it's your hobby, have some fun. I mean, that's what you're doing. If you're a hobbyist, just have some fun. And if you're learning, trying to get into, making a career of it, still go outside and enjoy it. I've been doing this for 42 years, and there's still times I'll walk by, I'll grab a lens or two, and I'll say, my wife's name is Denise. I'll say, Denise, let's go outside and shoot. I've got some new lenses I want to try. So we're liable to jump out of here at any given moment with her going, I need to do my hair and makeup. But I'm like, don't worry about it. It's just about a lens. It's not you. So anyway, but she's a sport on that kind of stuff. So she did good. And anyway, what do you guys think about this lens when you look at these pictures? Leave a comment down at the bottom and tell me what you think about them. I think the lens is almost, well, I won't say anything yet. You guys tell me what you think about the quality of this lens and what it'll do, because I'm impressed. And we'll be talking about this lens some more coming up soon. I think it is fantastic. It'll be included in some more shoots that we're doing. Um, Never was a huge 35 millimeter fan, but when I saw this at 160, I'm like, I want to try that. So thanks again to SG Image for sending us the lens. And what I told you today was my honest opinion. They did not say, hey, say this about our lens and don't say this about our lens. The only problem I can find with it is it's so small. There's nowhere to tighten up the lens, because once you get that off, you got to deal with this is a focus. So by the time you're turning something, you're turning the focus. So you really have to grip right in there and turn it that way. But not a big deal. We can take care of that for $160, and that's our biggest problem. We're doing good. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out the pictures here at the end. Do not leave. You've got to see these pictures. You've heard me ramble. Now we're going to check out the pictures. I hope you guys enjoy them. And let me know if you have, or if you've ever even heard of SG Image. If not, we got a lot more coming their way. I'm hoping they've got another lens. I've never seen one like it. And I'm hoping that I can get them to let me check one of those out too. And 'cause I've never seen a lens like it. And I appreciate it. Thanks again to SG Image. Thanks again to you guys for your time. Check out these pictures. Let me know down at the bottom what you think, and if you have one of these. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for your time. Have a great day, and let's see these pictures.